have some people that are bidding still low, and I'm just trying to get it out there. Like any job actually in Baltimore, any job in Baltimore that has Baltimore dollars or federal dollars in Baltimore City, I'm sorry, in Baltimore City is prevailing wage. Some people that are bid sorry. So it's prevailing wage. So I'm really excited about that. And but we have to get the word out because it also could be detrimental to us. So, because like me, I honestly, and being transparent, um, me working in Baltimore City, I have not been paying prevailing wage. One, no one ever asked me for any reports. I didn't know about the prevailing wage. So ignorance is not an excuse for anymore. And I really do have to make the adjustment because then I would be held responsible because it's not like I don't know. So I'm definitely going to be working on that part. It is 7:09, and
But getting to what you were just saying about the prevailing wage, you're right. But the problem is it all starts with you have to be able to get the money to be able to pay it. And if you're not getting the money, you can never pay it. It's impossible. But I'll just give you a little tidbit. I was kind of pissed. One of our big companies had a trucker meeting last week, Oldcastle, which is Tilcon, which is one of the largest companies. And I didn't go because I didn't know they were having it because I don't really work there that much, but I would go to just start trouble. Not trouble, but you know what I mean? Put my 2 cents in. And
yeah.
At that meeting, there's 25 guys there. And not one out of that 25 guys, not one of those guys, and this is our problem in our industry, is that they asked about money. They were more worried about they're like kindergarten kids. You know what I'm saying? Worried about who's on what job, why aren't they on this job? Why? And not one of them asked about money at all. And that's the God's honest truth. And what happens is that's what you're dealing with. These guys, they're afraid to ask about money. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And then one of them said, the vice president called them on that following Monday and goes, "Hey, we didn't have a good turnout on Saturday to this meeting for truckers." Well, instead of him taking the bull by the horns and saying, well, because you're not paying enough money, he's more worried about other stuff and he doesn't want to help the other guys get a raise. So that's what you deal with in this business. And I don't know how to change the mentality of that at all. They had the perfect opportunity because they know, like you just said, they're not getting enough trucks. They don't have it, these companies, and there are less guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Carmen, we had a meeting about 2 years ago, and everybody was invited. We had about 100, maybe 125 people there. The question was asked from the speaker: if you know that you're working for less money than it costs you to operate, would you quit if you knew that? If that was realized? No. There was only one guy in the room that raised his hand that said he would quit. Can you, what else? I mean, that is just the height of stupidity. But
it is. And that's why I titled today's meeting, what I titled it, The Psychological Damage of Trucking. And people get in this market like they get in most markets, right? Thinking that it's going to be the same as when they grew up. Like the rules apply the same, and like we train a dog, right? And you come in this market with them. It's abuse. That's exactly what it is. It's just, what is that syndrome that you and I used to talk about, Tony? Battered woman.
Battered woman syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called the Stockholm syndrome.
There you
where
go.
You fall in love with your kidnappers, which are the contractors. You fall in love with going to work every day because they have work, but they're not feeding you enough to keep you alive for very long. So, it's a cycle because everybody is taught that if you own a business, you're supposed to be hardworking. You're supposed to just put your head down and just keep moving on. But it doesn't work in the trucking business, because the more that you work, the more that you're wearing your truck out, the more that you're increasing your expenses. You have to make more for doing the same or less.
Yep. I agree. I'm trying to figure it out myself. No lies. I still don't understand it. The only thing I can do, guys, like I've been doing, is praying. And that's all. I'm going to read part of what I text out today and what I emailed. And that is most, if not all, truck drivers, owners inflict some type or some degree of psychological damage upon themselves. And here it is. This is what it is. Psychological damage means any mental framework that has the potential for generating fear. And most people don't want to deal with their pain, right? They don't want to deal with the fear of missing out. They want to deal with the emotional stress, the anxiety, the confusion, and the disappointment, the betrayal. People always say, and we create these whole stories around an event. It could be either mental, something that really happened, but we create a whole story like, oh, we did this before, it ain't going to work. And so you don't try anymore, right? And people just keep avoiding pain by building up these mental defenses, and they don't want to deal with any type of conflict. They deny, and like I said, they build these stories up in their own head and try to come up with justifications. And they stay in a perpetual state of confusion. And I don't know what to do about that other than to pray, right? Well, or, I had this picture in my mind last night that we had a dump truck in pain, and it had a head-on collision. Like, people took the time and dealt with it. And that pain is, right, here it is, all excuses for not knowing your numbers. You got to throw that out the window, right? You really do have to understand your numbers. Most of us don't want to deal with the pain of not knowing the numbers, because then we'll really see how far setback we are. I had to do it. I had to deal with, damn, these numbers not making sense. And when I looked at it, I was like, ooh, outside of brokering, it's a little scary. And when I looked at the numbers, I had to forgive myself for even paying someone less than what I value myself. And when you are taking inventory of your thoughts and your thinking and all those things, when you're taking inventory, you have to deal with some hard truths, right? And the pain in trucking, in my opinion, is the perception of trucking, that you're going to make a lot of money, right? And the perception is, and I still have people tell me this till today, how you going to tell me I'm not making money, Carmen? I got money in the bank. What do you do with that, right? Because they haven't planned for anything in the future as far as a breakdown is concerned. Because how much is it to fix rears right now? Anybody tell me? I got trucks, but I can't tell you because I haven't fixed any rears. Or to get a transmission done now. How much is that? Tony?
Probably $6,000 for a tranny reman with a new clutch. Probably $6,000 to $8,000 for a rear end.
Mm-hmm. We're dealing with ignorance and people just not wanting to know, and this illusion. And right now people are numb and they're negative, right? You got my happy ass. I'm just, living in a world of delusion sometimes, right? And I purposely put myself there in a happy place, right? It makes me feel good. And so if I feel good and I can embrace something new, that's what I'm gonna do. But we haven't been taught that. So in most markets, right, we come in with our old framework of thinking, and thinking that business is as usual. It's not. Trucking is a whole different market, just like the stock market, like you and I were talking about, Eric. That stock market is a beast too. You could think that you're going to go in and do things the way you want to do it. Well, guess what? Just like the stock market, contractors, none of them, they don't care about your well-being. They give 0 F's about your well-being. I know we think we got friends in this industry, but this is business. It is. It's just business. I wrote something down. Let me see if I can find it. Here's some things. We have to become aware of the underlying psychological blocks to good trucking and money management. Some of us need some wealth coaches, right? We need mentors in the business, because if you're doing the same thing, expecting a different result, do you know what that's called?
Insanity.
Hey, there you go.
I was
let me-
going to say that earlier.
Yeah.
Over and over again, expecting a different outcome.
Yeah. But let me tell you, the contractor and brokers that disappear with our profits, right? They're not the mysterious and ambiguous they, right? We always say, oh, they taking our money. They could pay us more money. They taking our profits. Oh, that contractor did this. Let's be real with ourselves. Let's forgive ourselves for accepting less, right? Because it's not them or they. It's us being misguided without having the proper education and not even trying to get understanding of what it is in the industry that we're in, right? We have to take personal responsibility. I'm not saying, when I say education, I'm not saying to go out and go get a college degree. If that's what you want, you do it. But that's not what I'm talking about. You have people on this phone call, right, who know this industry. It's called mentors. And if you want something different, you really do have to see something different. But if you continue to do the same thing, expecting a different result, you are going to be exactly where you are, right? And it's not enough just to raise the rates. You really do have to become consciously aware of what the cost is. I don't know if you all been listening to the prayers, but I just been praying every morning. Today was day 2. And I read where the man said cost times 3 for the trucking rate. I was like, yes, for the cost times 3. Because that's beyond where we are, even in our thinking of 150, 160, right? It's beyond that. But some of us haven't even done the hard work of analyzing where our cost is. And I just want you to know what's evil to me. This is just Carmen talking, right? Because I've been writing all night. What's evil is to work and make and accept less than your value, right? It's not them or they. It's you and me. Those are our rigs. We ain't got to put them on no job and accept nothing less than what we say. But we put it out there and blame it on somebody else. That's what I'm talking about, taking personal responsibility and then forgiving yourself, right? Walk in forgiveness and love yourself. I made a mistake. I didn't know. I walked in ignorance, whether you did it purposefully, ignorantly, but now it's just time to make a different decision. That's all. We just one decision away. You know, right now it seems like we're in the back of the line, but guess what? If you heard from the skies and somebody said about face, well, where you used to be in the back, you're now in the front. It's just a decision. That's all. It's evil that you are comfortable and you commit and embrace every day a less than value, right? And we make excuses. I hear people say all the time, you know, well, we got to feed our families, that people got to feed their families. That is an excuse and a lie you just keep telling yourself. Because nothing from nothing leaves nothing. That's a hard reality, but it's the truth. But the illusion is you're getting money. And you are. You receive cash flow. But it ain't sticking. It's not. Potato chips are almost, Eric and I were talking about it the other day, Gilliam. potato chips, I think, is $5, $6 for a little small bag of potato chips. You everything else, and yeah, fuel has come down, and market makers keeps, they make excuses. Oh, fuels come down. You are the creator of the life you desire. If you want something different, you got to see something different. The contractors have absolutely no power and control over you, no expectation of your behavior, and no regard for your welfare. Neither can we control or manipulate the contractors, brokers, or whoever. But you can't control where you send your rig and the rates you accept. As a trucker, you can only control you, and you have the power to give yourself money or give it to the brokers or the contractors. If you ask, I was writing notes last night. It was on my phone. So I printed it out just so I can remember everything I wanted to say. So I just wanted to encourage everybody. Let's start from where we are. When you think about the GPS system, right? It doesn't care about where you've been. When you cut on that GPS system, it's looking for your current location. Right? So let's start from our current location of where we are, and let's decide to make some different decisions. Let's lean on one another. Let's ask the hard questions. Like, let's do a cost basis. Let's figure out what our cost is and what it is that we need to move forward. And it's going to look different for everybody else. Look, everybody's cost is different, but everybody's pay is the same. That's crazy, but we accept it. I had a gentleman on Facebook say he was in Alabama, and he was asking me about dump trucks here. And I told him the scale, right? I said it's between 68 and 85. Some people, only a few, get $90. He was shocked. I said, but mostly it's 75 to 80. People are getting paid. He was shocked. He said, down here in Alabama, we getting 110 to 120. I was like, I'm rolling to Alabama. So let's start from here. Your belief, some of us believe differently, and that's what makes the world go round, is our belief systems, right? But some of we need to really take inventory, because a belief is just a thought that you continue to think about over and over again. And if that belief and that thought is not serving you, guess what? We have a choice and a chance to change that thing right now. Think about something different. If you in a sad place, you know what I mean? Turn on you some music. Make yourself happy before you make a decision in the valley. Right? Because thinking don't get you nowhere. I'm just trying to encourage everyone to just think something different, right? If that thought is not serving you, dismiss it, even if it's true, right? It's true you making money, but it's not enough money. So how are you going to make more money, right? What are you going to do differently? And if you're giving your attention to something where it's not activating your vibration and it's not raising you up, call me. Let's have some coffee and tea, and let me help you change your thinking, right? Look, here's a word for you. We need to be more discriminating. We need to discriminate more, right? We need to discriminate about who we work with, who we align ourselves with. My daughter said this to me today, and let me pull it up. When I was asking her about prayer, I was like, what prayer would you give me today? She says, I'm thankful for divine resources and divine influence, which greatly impact my abundance. I am thankful for the turnaround that is better than expected. Are you all expecting better than what you expect? If you're not, you should be, because the best is not yet to come. I'm a Bible girl. I tell y'all that all the time, right? Your latter will be greater than your former. Why? Because I said so. And if you saying so over your life because you are the creator of your life, hey, if 2 or 3 agree, oh man, that's some powerful stuff. right? I'm thankful for the Divine Soul Tribe, right? For business partners. This is what my baby gave me today. Friends and alliances needed for growth and expansion. How many of you all are reaching outside of where you are now for growth? Again, if you want something different, you got to see something different. You got to do something different. So I'm really, really excited about my next. I was singing, you know. Oh, my daughter said, no, we don't need to be, not discriminate. We need to be more intentional. That's what she just texted me. Intentional by being selective and not discriminating. Okay, I got that. I digress. Let's be intentional about what we're doing. You know, even though it was a pain point where I came to meet Eric, I still embraced Eric Peterson, the one that's right on the screen now. He's an insurance agent. I was at a pain point, and it was because I have an alliance with Doughboy, with Eric and them, for them to tell me about Eric, right? If we don't ask each other questions, we stay stuck, right? If I never open myself up, honestly, to Nydia and Tammy, you know, having, and Dee Dee, girl conversations, I would have never experienced all the things that I've experienced within the last 12 months, right? Which has been a wonderful thing. Tammy out there buying all kinds of plant making medicine. I mean, research, and the chick is doing some amazing stuff, right? To help people, heal people. I would have never been able to been an influence on her and her me, right? And the alike with everyone that's on the call. I'm expecting to come into new understanding. I'm opening my mind for just new understanding, even in the trucking industry. Where are we going? I spoke to a man yesterday, and he told me, he says, I know it was God who put that on your heart to pray. He said, because, and I even shared I blocked out his name, but I shared the text about his feet, because he said his feet were swelling. They, you know, then I was talking to him and he was like, they were just in pain. Someone else on the call said, you know, her feet and ankles have been swelling. I had no idea. I just told you all what I saw mentally when I heard God tell me to pray for 30 days for the trucking industry and the drivers, right? Some of us just need to pray. I don't care who you pray to. I don't care if it's Buddha, Allah, source. I don't care. I don't care. Me, I'm a Jesus girl. I tell y'all that all the time. I'm Jesus girl. Jesus girl. So that's who I pray to. You know, we need to do some affirmation and change the game. You know, there's power in your words. It is. It's power. Oh my God. If I didn't start this call, I would not have learned as much as I did. Let me tell you how I learned about prevailing wage. Tony and Ron. They kept talking to me about it. Like, I knew about it. And I did it with Capital Paving, the job I used to have, but not to the degree that I know it now and why it's so important, right? You have to open up yourself for new engagements, new relationships, right? Just be open. Let's try something different for 2023. I heard Nydia Smith of Smalls Industry. She said 2023 is the year of experiences. What new are we going to experience in the trucking industry, right? I keep saying, oh, I'm done. I'm done. I ain't doing nothing else. And then Ron will say, well, you know what? You've encouraged me. I'm saying to myself, dang, I must not be done yet. So, you know, I might say, I'm done. I'm not doing this after the 30 days. I'm probably lying, because God just keeps making a liar out of me when it comes to this. But I really am excited. I know that work here in the DMV area is a little dry, right? We haven't been really moving. But you know what I'm gonna say tonight? Oh, I'm thanking God for the abundance of work that is coming through. I'm thanking God. Clouds, hold your water for this week because our trucks need to go out. You want to talk about power? Let's utilize the power that we have. It's free, it's just in your word. And you know, they say a belief is something that you believe over and over again. There you go. Start speaking what it is you want into existence. And if you don't believe it, start saying it over and over again until it becomes a belief. See, I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and I really do believe that the clouds obey me. Eric laughing at me, but I'm serious. Ask a few people on the call, they know it, because I have stopped the rain. Because I believe that I have that power. And I believe that they hear me. Just like the trees when they blowing. I'm cuckoo, I'm telling you all. When I'm talking to the trees in the park, right? Because I'm a Bible girl, the Bible says, let everything that have breath praise him. So if it has breath, it has life. So I'm speaking. I believe that there are angels all about us. I've been encamping angels and saying I wanted angels to be around everyone's truck. I've been praying that the DOT extend grace. No accidents, nothing. I'm looking for miracles. That's what I'm looking for. Signs and wonders. Because we need it in this industry. We need some encouragement. We need some grace. We need some peace. I am getting emotional, so I'm getting ready to ask somebody else to speak. Does anybody want to share? Because I really am excited about our next, whatever that looks like, which I'm going to speak abundance. Does anyone else have anything they want to share? Because I don't have to be on here long tonight. Let me unmute everybody. How about that? And then I'm done. I have shared. And that's it. Oh, I'm not. I got something else to show y'all here. Look at this. Look at this. I got to show y'all this. Where is it? Ooh. Let me see. Let me go here. Hold on. Check this out. Now, this don't even have nothing to do with trucking, but I'm tooting my own horn for 1 second. Look at this.
We need to come together and do one thing: stop participating. And when we do that, the game is over. When we literally say Monday morning, we're not going to go to work. Imagine if 30 million people didn't go to work Monday. Imagine if 30 million people didn't buy gas on Monday. Imagine if 30 million people went to the bank on Monday and said, I want to withdraw all my money. They can't even give it to all 30 million because only 15% of the cash is available on hand at any given time. The rest is fake zeros and ones. That would collapse the banking system in one day. You see the power in that? You have the power. Well, we all have the power, but what's keeping us back from doing this? Fear. Oh my God, if I don't go to work, I'm going to get fired. And if they don't participate in it, and I'm the only one that doesn't show up for work, I'm going to lose out, and I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. I'm not going to be able to make my car payment, and so forth and so on. You see the trap they have us in? They have us in this system where we're afraid to work together. Man, we're brothers. We should be, link up. Let's do this together. We need to come.
I'm here to tell you that whether you agree with it or not, right? And maybe you've lived in this bubble where you've done things by yourself. And in fact, Tammy sent me that, right? We continue to live in a bubble by ourselves, struggling by ourselves. It's no need. We are our sisters and brothers' keeper. We don't have to struggle alone or by ourselves, because maybe it's just something you don't know. Ask the questions. Ask the hard questions. So anyway, I am still over here trucking along, trying to find out information, still trying to plug in with the political figures that be here. Oh, I went to the truckers march yesterday, and it was really sad that there wasn't a lot of people that participated, but guess what? what they did achieve was they wanted the head of the transportation industry to come and speak to them, and she did. That was the goal was met. She came out and she spoke. She said much of nothing, but she was there. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say it doesn't really take a lot of people. It just takes a remnant to want to make a change. So change if you like, and if you like where you are, that's cool too. I'm still praying for you, and I still love you. I don't care. I think that is all that I have for tonight. I am bidding, and I am bidding at higher numbers. I understand my cost. I know what it looks like. It's not ×3, but it's getting there. Does anyone have anything that they want to share before I hang up? And then you all see Eric on the stage. If anyone needs, I unmuted everyone, but if anyone needs insurance here on this great East Coast, what's your area, Eric?
Maryland, Pennsylvania. I can be a resource too, just for questions. If you have it, obviously you have existing agents. If you ever need help, just to call and bounce an idea off of, I'm perfectly, good helping anybody I can. So, and also I was going to comment, I have some ideas, and I was actually, as we were talking and I was taking some notes, I was putting together an email that I'm going to send you after the meeting on some of the ideas that I have that I think could really help. So
Awesome.
It'll work.
I embrace new ideas. I don't know it all. And if something's not working, this most of the time it's just something that we don't know. Right. So I really appreciate everyone. We should we have a pre-meeting, Dee Dee, when? For the
15th. What you mean a pre? You mean
you and I, we meet with her, and then
I can't remember the date on that, to be honest. I want to say it's the 9th or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
yeah, as soon as we do that, our paperwork will be sent to IRS. We'll get our approval. I'm hoping within the next 30 to 60 days. We will be a nonprofit organization, and I'm going to continue to educate and share and love. I just want to tell you all that I'm doing the 30 days of prayer for the whole trucking industry. I want to be a little bit transparent too, not a little bit, a lot transparent. I spoke to the guy yesterday who was heading up or a part of the leadership team for the event yesterday. And this is just me because I was in his Facebook group, and so they don't want to mix dump truck and truck what they got going on. They don't want to mix it. I understand that. But I believe that is where the enemy of our own minds have us trapped, to think that it's just about one part or one sector. We're all fighting the same thing. We're all fighting rates. We're all fighting for safety and for our drivers. We're fighting a lot. It's different niches in the transportation industry, but nonetheless, it's still transportation. And everyone is suffering the same: drivers, pay. Anyway, I'm not going to go on. That's it for that. I'm praying. If you all have any special prayer requests, let me know. Text message me, email me. And I have other guests coming on that will be praying for the whole trucking industry. So if you all have a request, if you need healing in your body, I speak to your body now. And if you're in pain, I pray that pain cease and desist. And I love you guys. Good night.
Thank you.
Absolutely.